Yeah. So in this section, we'll be focusing on the different types of geographical disasters. The first one is the earthquake, right? Now, what is an earthquake? Have you felt that one here? Those who are staying in the Mughal or during your stay in Cebu, have you felt earthquakes and all? Or any time in your life, have you felt the shake? What do you understand by earthquake?
The movement of the tectonic plates.
The moment of the tectonic plates, right? Okay. So basically, it is the cause. So the earthquake is caused due to the movement of tectonic plates and all, right? And what else? What else? What about like how? So that is one reason. Any other thing, or is it only the movement of tectonic plates it causes the earthquakes?
Human behavior, hum- like construction, bombing, anything big.
Yeah. So, see, these. So basically, mm, these earthquakes they are being caused due to the sudden shift or movements in the tectonic plates, and these movements inside the earth crust it propagates to the top surface of the land, right? So due to this, there is a violent shaking of the structures, right? Or the violent shaking of ground is there, which again goes to the structures as well, right? And now these earthquakes, we all know that we cannot predict an earthquake. You can see, you can predict cyclone, but till now there is no such way so that we can predict an earthquake, right? And they can occur along the fault lines. What is fault line? What is fault line? Can anyone say what is a fault line?
Like
Anyone?
cracks found between the two places, like that.
Uh, See, these fault lines are basically the mm, see below the Hirakud there is a fault line, the Hirakud Dam. So those who are from Odisha, you can Google it. The fault there is a fault line below the Hirakud Dam. So it is near those areas or near the fault lines where this tectonic plates used to cross each other and or they will bruise against each other and due to this earthquake situation will occur. And okay, which is the country where most earthquakes happen? It's a GK question, right? Which is the country where most earthquakes happen?
Japan.
Yes, Japan, Hawaii Islands. There are a lot more areas where we have very frequent earthquakes, right? And these earthquakes, they are very powerful and they are powerful enough they can destroy well-built structures, they can destroy our houses, right? They can destroy everything, whatever it comes in front of it, or wherever it or wherever it touches, this destroys everything, right? Now they have the tendency they can also trigger a lot of other disasters as well. They can see they can result tsunamis, they can create volcanic eruptions as well. Even the seismometers, right? The seismometers are used to detect the strength of earthquakes. Also, we have the moment magnitude scale, or which is an improvised version of the Richter scale. It is being used for to measure the size of the earthquake, right? You might have seen in your news and all. Suppose there is an earthquake. I think the latest one is Syria, right? The earthquake which happened in Syria,
Sir,
right?
Turkey. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Turkey, Syria. Okay. So in that you might have seen you can go through it and you can see how what was the intensity of that. Okay, a lot of houses have been damaged. There were a lot of casualties in the Syria earthquake. Right. In India, you can say that Bhuj earthquake and others. they have created a lot of catastrophe as well. Right. So earthquakes, they have a point of origin below the ground that we call it as a focus, and there is a point directly above the surface of it, and that we call it as epicenter. So this is all about the basics of the terms that are being used in the earthquake, right? So what is focus? It is below the ground from where the vibration starts, and what is epicenter? Epicenter is the top surface on the earth where it propagates and touches, right? So while earthquakes themselves, they are rarely cause direct fatalities, but it also triggers secondary events as well, such as building collapse, fires, tsunami, volcanic activity, etc., which can be very devastating in nature, right? Now let's go through the latest earthquake which I was discussing with you. Now it was on 6th of February 2023, and it happened on 4:17 Turkey time, and the magnitude was 7.8. The location of the earthquake was south and central Turkey, sorry, and northwestern Syria, and the epicenter was almost 37 kilometers from the northwest of Gaziantep. Right now, some of the key information which I have collected is, so the earthquake had a maximum Mercalli intensity scale of 12, which classifies it into a very extreme one, right? And the epicenter was at Antakya, and it was the second and a second earthquake of magnitude MW 7.7 occurred at around afternoon 1 o'clock, 1:24, whose center was at 95 kilometers from the northeast from the first one, right? So from its first, it was the second earthquake happened in at a distance of 95 kilometers. See, back to back, it can induce secondary impacts as well, or events as well, right? And these widespread damage with yeah, tens of thousands of fatalities were reported. Now let's understand one more. Now, what was the extent of damage in that one? So almost 3,50,000 kilometers square was land was affected, and it is approximately the size of Germany, right? And an estimated 14 million people, and that is 16% of Turkey's population was affected. Around 1.5 million people were left homeless, according to the UN estimates. Right? What is UN? What is UN?
United Nations.
Yeah, according to United Nations, they estimate almost 1.5 million people have left their houses. Have lost their houses, right? And almost the total death toll was 59,000 some odds. 50, in Turkey itself, almost 50,000 people have died. In Syria, almost 8,000 people were died, right? Now, here you can go through the slides and you can find some international response, how the world responded to it, right? So that I'm not going to cover. You can go through this one. Now, if we talk about the economic impact, so almost in Turkey, almost 140 US billion dollars loss was happened. Okay, in Syria, it was almost 14.8 billion US dollars, and according to sources, it is the costliest earthquake that happened in Turkey and Syria. Okay, and it is the fourth costliest in the world record. Right. Next, some other earthquakes are there. You can go through this. I will share this slide today with you. Right till this point, I will share the slides. So we have this Haiti earthquake which occurred in 2021. Next, the Sulawesi earthquake. It occurred in Indonesia, and the magnitude was 7.5. Here the magnitude was 7.2. Next, the Lombok earthquake, which occurred in 2018, and it was in Indonesia. Okay. Next, the Nepal earthquake, which occurred in 2015. It was on April 2015, and the location was Nepal, where the magnitude was almost 7.8, and over 8,000 deaths were happened. Next one is the Tohoku earthquake and tsunami. Now, why they call this as Tohoku earthquake and tsunami? Where is Tohoku? Where is Tohoku?
Japan.
Japan, yeah. So this Tohoku earthquake, it happened in 2011, and as a secondary damage, it caused one tsunami over there, right? So due to this massive tsunami happened, and it took almost 16,000 lives. Like one nuclear disaster also happened at Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant due to this earthquake. So now see, due to this earthquake, one tsunami happened and one natural disaster happened in Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. Right. So next, the again in Haiti in 2010, one earthquake occurred and the magnitude was 7. Now see, I'm not saying that these are the only earthquakes which happened. I have taken some selected ones which were very catastrophic and and the whose magnitude was very high, right? So you can explain these in your exam that you'll be asked questions. Okay, give some examples of the catastrophic earthquakes which happened throughout the globe. Okay, you can give some examples of it, and you can explain what is this epicenter, what is this focus, and what are the significance and all those things. You can go through the slide and you can explain, right? Now let's move to the next part or the next disaster, that is landslide. Okay. Now what is this landslide? What do you understand by landslide? Landslide. Anyone from the audience? Ankita, Prabir Kishore, could you please unmute your mic and say a few words? What is landslide?
So it happens in hilly areas where the lands get washed away or with rocks and that.
Yeah, it happens. So landslides, it's not only in hilly areas. Um, mm, um, yeah, it is frequently in hill areas that you are correct on. So where we have the massive or masses of rocks that are being flown to the downhill as a debris, right? And they flow down due to the slope or the disturbances that happens due to the slope stability, right? Then they can be categorized including falls, slides, topples, lateral splits, and flows as well. So that's why I said it is not necessary that it will happen in slopes and all, right? So landslides are very common in hilly areas, particularly the Himalayan region, the Western Ghats, the Eastern Ghats. Okay, which part of our country we call it as the Western Ghats? You might have studied in your geography in your school level. What is
It's
this?
from Gujarat to Karnataka.
Yeah, from the Gujarat till the Karnataka, that we call it as the Western Ghats. And what about the Eastern Ghats?
From Kolkata to Andhra Pradesh, I think. So West Bengal to
Yeah, from West Bengal to I think it also goes beyond that as well, right? Next, human activities and some other factors like earthquakes, and these also intensify the landslides for causing the soil erosion and thereby increasing the occurrence and the damage that is being caused by the landslides, right? Okay, and landslides can be triggered by heavy rains, droughts, earthquakes, volcanic eruption, and other human activities. Mudslides are also known as the debris flow. They will occur when the water rapidly accumulates around the ground, causing a surge. Right. So next we have there is a lot of noise here. So next we'll talk about this avalanche in the next class, right? So